So time to bring on my next guest for the program. Sheryl Hunter is the entrepreneur's attorney and owner of Hunter Business Law, a boutique law firm of 5 attorneys located in Tampa. Sheryl founded her firm in 2000 because of her passion for entrepreneurship. Sheryl, welcome to the program today.
Thank you, Jamie. Pleasure to be here.
And Sheryl is also a repeat offender to the program, so welcome back this morning. How was your New Year's?
Oh, it was great. Actually, just stayed home with the kids and relaxed.
And you're the entrepreneur's attorney, so tell us about that. How did you find this niche?
Well, I've been practicing law for 20 years, predominantly in the business and commercial litigation area. And I worked for a large firm initially and really felt that while large firms provide phenomenal services and are excellent lawyers at large firms, they're not really designed for the startup, early stage, kind of growth-focused company that maybe doesn't get as much attention, or it's just not designed for that. So we designed our entire firm around being outside general counsel to small businesses from their very infancy all the way through to when they're looking at exit strategies or business succession strategies. They want to sell, or they want to sell to their employees, or what have you.
And there's a lot of startups and a lot of entrepreneurs that have a good idea, but a lot of them don't think about going to the attorney's office. And so, I mean, do you find that mistake a lot, and where you're coming back and fixing a lot of the problems that they should have set up in the beginning?
I mean, you don't know what you don't know is a classic statement, and it's extremely true when it comes to starting a business. So we really want our startups to understand that we're here to help them. We're here to just give them a journey, guide, if you will. And we've seen things. We've seen where their fault lines are. So we try to steer them away from those danger zones in advance, and they don't want to have to learn the hard way, right? So let's get there, for example, a healthy foundation, which is what we're here to talk about, a healthier business in 2016. But it fundamentally starts with the very beginning of your company. So, for example, if you start a business with a partner, but you don't have a partnership agreement, either an operating agreement or shareholder agreement, and then you have issues with your partner, that can absolutely crumble the business right there and then, as opposed to if you had talked with an attorney, they would have told you needed this, they would have identified where those problems arise between partners and helped you put an effective agreement together from the beginning. So sometimes people don't want to spend money, but that can be rather short-sighted.
And company structure is obviously the first consideration, I think, when starting a business after you have your idea and all that stuff laid out. But a lot of people go to the accountant and they forget about the attorney. Where should you go first, the accountant or the attorney?
Well, both are really important to have on your team. And that's what we want to be at Hunter Business Law, as part of your management team, if you will, because we're outside part of that. But we want to feel like a resource for our clients, so they can call us anytime, say, hey, I'm thinking about hiring somebody. What do I need to know? What do I need to do? And an accountant plays a critical role because obviously the numbers matter. You need to know your numbers, and you need to be keeping track of that. So we partner very closely with accountants. Of course, I think that you should come to an attorney first, because we will tell you to go to an accountant. But we do identify very different issues than an accountant. And an accountant's going to look at the tax considerations of whether to be a corporation or a limited liability company, and how to elect what tax structure to elect. We look at a lot of other aspects of that. So, for example, we can identify if an investor comes into this deal, it may be better to be an S corp for tax purposes, but if you're going to go out and try to raise capital from angel investors, they may not like that.
Right.
So they need both. They really need to talk to both.
Okay, and we're in a new year, and we're going to be talking about the 10 New Year's resolutions for a healthier business in 2016. And one of the quick points to make is evaluate 2015.
Exactly. I mean, you always want to. It's hard, first of all, when you're running a business and you're so busy. You're trying to make sales. It's about revenue. It's about managing your team. Your day gets away from you. Suddenly it's 8 o'clock at night. You haven't even had dinner. Haven't gone home. So I get that, but you have to take a step back and really look at what happened over the course of the last year. I mean, you should be doing this monthly at a minimum, taking a look at what happened in the prior month. But definitely take a look at what happened in the prior year. That means knowing your numbers, first of all. You've got to, and this is the perfect time to be doing this. By the way, you should be getting your 1099s out by the end of this month. So you got to kind of look at the numbers right now anyway, and who did you pay more than $600 to last year, and get their W-9s and all of that. But you want to take a look at, okay, your revenue is important, but your profit is far more important. And a lot of times people get really excited about their revenue being above a certain number and, oh my gosh, we're growing, look at our revenue. I always tell people, revenue is great. Profits is what matters, though. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm guilty of that. I like to look at my gross. I don't like to look at the profit all the time.
Well, most people don't. And I think the example we were talking about previously was, let's say you hire somebody new. So that person might generate $50,000 more in revenue for you. But if they cost you $60,000 to bring in that revenue, obviously that did not make sense. So if you don't look at your expenses and really be honest with yourself about those expenses, then you're not getting a clear picture of your company's health and wellness.
And so 1099s are due out by the end of January,
Correct.
and that's to any non-incorporated business, right, that you paid more than $600 to?
Yeah, but there's some exceptions. So, for example, even though I'm a corporation as a law firm, lawyers have to receive 1099s.
And this is an area that I know a lot of business owners are not even familiar with what we're even talking about. So another reason why you got to reach out to Sheryl Hunter at the Hunter Business Law. Make sure you understand when and how you should be issuing 1099s.
That's right. It's the easiest thing to do is whenever you have a new vendor, somebody you're going to be paying, go ahead and have them fill out a W-9 and provide it to you so you have all the W-9s, which capture the information you need to then issue the 1099s in January for the prior year.
It's something I didn't know about until about year one into my real estate business, and I was like, what is a 1099? And again, I was completely untrained when I started, my business and in the radio. So, and the part of the reason to doing the radio show is to make people aware of these different things within business.
You're providing a great service in that regard.
So another New Year's resolution, you got to set goals.
Yes. I think there's all sorts of quotes about the importance of setting goals. You won't meet your goals if you never set them and what have you. And it's hard in this day and age to prioritize. There's a really good book called Busy, How to Thrive in a World of Too Much. And, he's not focused as much on the author on time management as he is on prioritizing. So you want to set goals for the year. And then you have to break those goals down into action steps that you perform along the way so that you can actually reach those goals. So if you want to increase your revenue by $120,000, well, that means you should be increasing revenue $10,000 a month. Or if you're on some kind of unique cash flow situation because of seasonal issues, then you have to really kind of what do we need to do? So every month you can measure, are we actually on track? And this can be fun. If you put together, my husband made it for our firm where he does a lot of the accounting for us, and he made a little goal chart for us. And every month I'd get my report, or okay, we're 23% to our goal, we're 50% to our goal. And so you see that creeping up and you go, oh, okay, great, we're getting really close. Or wow, we are not where we need to be. You can then take a step back and say, why are we not getting to our goals? You can share that information with your team. But if you're not tracking your numbers, then you're really not even able to stay on target.
Yeah, and setting goals ties into the third New Year's resolution, which is seeking guidance and advice. So you should have an accountability partner, whether it's someone within your business or not, but somebody to answer to with regard to your goals. Why or how is Hunter Business Law a great resource for advice for your business? How can you help a new business in this year?
Well, we do a lot of things. I mean, one of the things that we do is I do have a CPA who's also an attorney on my team, and we offer a health and wellness checkup. And that's kind of a flat fee program where we take a look at your corporate structure, do you have non-competes with your employees, all the things that are needed to protect your business. We take a holistic look at your company, and then we give you what we call a prescription for better health. Mm-hmm. So we would basically give you the roadmap to
Is this
better
a free
health.
Consultation, or how does this work?
Well, no, that part of it. We do offer free consultations for new clients, so we certainly would meet with a potential new client for up to 30 minutes.
Okay, but
just
this
to
more
talk to them about the program.
So this is a more in-depth
This is definitely
product?
more of an in-depth product. But if you really are looking for a snapshot of where your company is, and then where it needs to be in terms of liability risk, for example. So we talk to people about their insurance coverage. Are you engaged in risk management? Do you have an employee handbook? Do you understand what you can and cannot ask in an interview process? So we kind of do a diagnostic, a little bit like you talked about the doctors, an executive wellness for your business, and we identify problem areas, and then we let the client know, okay, you need to do an employee handbook. You don't have one. This is what we would charge you to do it. So we put that in the prescription. So then they can either fill their prescription with Hunter Business Law, or they can go to somebody else if they prefer.
And that ties into another New Year's resolution you talk about is getting organized. Where are most business owners disorganized? Is it always in the numbers, but is it in HR and other areas as well where you see disorganization?
Yeah, and it's interesting because so much of the time we're dealing with really small businesses where the key executives, the owner, just knows everything in their head. Right. So one of the aspects of disorganization, they might know everything, but if it's not written in policy and procedures, they haven't trained anybody else, their business is really at risk, because if that executive becomes sick, they become disabled, they die, what then? So one of the things is documenting the critical policies and procedures that help your business run. Who are your primary contacts? Who are your primary sources for business? Who are your vendors? Do you like these vendors? So I always tell people, like, imagine you were just gone tomorrow. What does your business need to know? And actually, there's a great book called Built to Sell by John Warrelou, and it's all about what an outsider would come in if they wanted to possibly buy your business. What would that outsider look at? And one of the things they look at is, could this business run without its key executive? And you want to get your business to the point where it can run without you if it had to. It makes your business so much more valuable because somebody else can come in and buy it from you, and it is turnkey.
Right.
It's not turnkey, so it's almost like a franchise model for your own company.
Yeah. Good information. Stay tuned. Got to take another quick break, but we're talking about New Year's resolutions for your business with Sheryl Hunter, the entrepreneur's attorney, and you can learn more about her over at hunterbusinesslaw.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound 75 slow from Fletcher to Fowler due to a crash in the right-hand lane. Westbound Fletcher still shut down at Bruceby Downs due to an accident investigation. Southbound 275 still very slow from Fletcher to around Sly. And a crash over in Clearwater, now clear, Gulf to Bay at Hercules. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson, Udar, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. More than 1 in 3 American kids has lead in their blood. No level of lead is safe. Lead poisoning causes learning disabilities and behavioral disorders. Has your child been tested? Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, cloudy and cool in the morning, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, high 74. Tonight, more clouds, low 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers, high 77.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on 1250 Wins WHZ, and learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. And currently in studio with us, Sheryl Hunter, the entrepreneur's attorney, and learn more about her, HunterBusinessLaw.com. And we're talking about 10 New Year's resolutions to focus on in 2016 for your business. And, I'm going to skip over, obviously marketing is an important component of the business, and also keeping detailed records and knowing your numbers, which we also have touched on. But another important area to focus on, evaluate competing businesses. How can businesses do this effectively?
Well, I think it's absolutely critical to know who your competitors are and to take a look at what they're doing. You have to innovate. You have to stay on top of the market. You have to be responsive to what the customer and the client is demanding, and you want to get ahead of that. So it's such an easy thing to do is to go look at the websites of your competitors. When your clients or customers come to your website, are they having as good of an experience as your competitors offering? If you have to honestly say to yourself, my gosh, they're killing me here. They got a live chat feature, or they have regular blogs every week and we're only blogging every 2 months, then you need to step it up, because you will lose business to your competitors. You also want to the extent you can, obtain information about their pricing or new service offerings that they maybe have.
It can be a challenge evaluating competing businesses, because I know when I do it, it keeps me up at night sometimes thinking, but some people are flashy, but are they effective in terms of profitability? And so it's hard to weigh these different things. Right, and having
bells and whistles and then you can't deliver is not good either. So I'm a huge believer in niche businesses and being a true expert at what you do best. And sometimes people, because they want to capture more revenue or more market share, they kind of misunderstand that, well, I'll just offer this and I'll do that. And they spread themselves too thin, and they also dilute their message and their brand, and now people don't really understand what they do.
Yeah.
So.
And another great New Year's resolution for your business is collaboration. How can businesses use collaboration to grow their business?
Right. Well, some of the people in the audience listening may know I often give talks on the partner trap. And what I'm talking about there is I see people going into actual equity ownership with other people, and they end up getting into arguments and disputes, and the business can get damaged by that. But collaboration and strategic partnerships is a very low-risk way to leverage your relationships with other people. So, for example, if you have someone who you're offering maybe craft beer, right? That's your business. And you have somebody else who makes cold-pressed coffee. Well, you two could collaborate, those two businesses, because they're not competing, they're not offering the same product, and yet they have a very similar distributorship. So they could collaborate in terms of their distributor efforts, even transporting their product, getting shelf space in different bars and restaurants together. So they can just have a contractual relationship that would govern that as opposed to owning a business together.
And another great resolution is protecting your assets. How can business owners protect their assets? I mean, you get a 401k. Where do you put all this extra profit, though, for a highly profitable business?
Well, there's certainly, here's the irony of becoming more successful is you have to pay Uncle Sam more money.
I mean, is there
correct?
any...
And you're more risk.
Is there something I'm not aware about there? Because I run into that problem with my real estate business. It's highly profitable. I don't know where to put all the money.
Yeah, I mean, there's basic accounting and tax strategies, and then there's far more sophisticated accounting and tax strategies. And when you start making enough money that you're not liking the check you're writing to the IRS, you definitely should look at those strategies. There's a lot of retirement strategies, and most retirement money is also protected from creditors. One of the things that we offer is it's a three-part thing is we do asset protection, business succession planning, and estate planning as one holistic program, because most of our clients, their primary asset is their business. They need to protect the assets of that business as well as their personal assets. They need to know what's going to happen if I die or become disabled to this business, this primary asset, and they need to take care of their family in terms of estate planning. So we tie those things together, and there are definitely a lot of strategies of, what can creditors take, not take, if or something happened, making sure that you're adequately covered from an insurance standpoint. And then an asset is like trademark registration is a way to protect your assets. If you're using a name in your business, but you have not registered a federal trademark, you're not protecting that asset to the extent that you could be.
Yeah, and I'm doing that right now with your
right.
firm, and it's quite a lengthy process, I'm finding out. It can take, about a year or so to get through the entire process?
Yes, I mean, the application process is pretty quick if you're already up and running, or if you're intending to use it, we can file it within a day. It's more of an issue of the process that the examining attorneys at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office take. so better to get started sooner than later.
So with regard to protecting your assets, do you work hand in hand then with a financial planner, or do you need a financial planner in addition to you as an attorney?
It really depends. I mean, we have a CPA attorney on our team, so he's obviously able to offer a lot of information in that regard. Really depends on what the client's needs are. If it's a very sophisticated, like a Delaware trust or a family limited partnership in Nevada, we would partner with someone who does nothing but those types of sophisticated asset protection planning or estate planning for that client. So we collaborate with other attorneys all the time because, again, you want someone with expertise. And we're phenomenal at issue spotting, and we do a lot of corporate law and commercial litigation. But when it's something that's highly specialized, we want to do what's best for our clients and find them someone who does that day in and day out.
Just so much to know when building and growing a business. And so Sheryl Hunter with Hunter Business Law is an excellent resource. She is the entrepreneur's attorney. And the last New Year's resolution, so important, stay focused.
Yes, and that goes back to what we talked about a little bit earlier, is prioritize. And that comes down to not just prioritizing what you want to accomplish in a year, but you have to break that year down to months, to weeks, and frankly, even to days and hours. So like when I get up today, what I should be doing, I don't always do this, is I love this suggestion, is like just get 3 Post-it notes. What are the 3 major things you want to accomplish in that day? Put them in the order you want to accomplish them, and make sure that before you get all tied up in email responses and other generic things that feel like you're accomplishing something, but they're really not what you should be focused on at that time, because you're going to get to the end of the day and it's gone, is make sure you get that number 1 Post-it note done before you start getting distracted. Yeah. So there's different methods to trying to stay focused.
Some great advice. Sheryl Hunter, thank you so much for being in studio
My pleasure. Thanks for having me again.
And again, Sheryl Hunter, the entrepreneur's attorney. Learn more about her, hunterbusinesslaw.com, and pick up the phone and give her office a call, 813-867-2640, 813-867-2640. And also ARIA Health and Wellness Institute, who is on the first half of the show. Thanks to them. Learn more about them at ariainstitute.com. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
The opinions, viewpoints, and